still alive. Morning and welcome to No Second Season. Yesterday it was 10 weeks since I fell off my bike in Spain, and I finally got up the enthusiasm to make a short film. So here it is. I finished my last video thanking people for helping me, and the love has just kept coming, so I've got a few more people to thank and some to thank again. So thanks to Ruth and Paul for having me at their house in Norfolk for 2 weeks. It was great to spend time with you both. Thanks to my brother Gary and sister-in-law Tracy for having me at their house in Cambridge for 4 weeks. That was amazing, spending time with you and being able to see your kids and grandkids. I really enjoyed it. And thanks to my friend Paul for putting me up in his house in Banbury, my hometown, and that's where I am now. So cheers guys, much appreciated. Also thanks to my daughter's boyfriend Ryan, who's clearly made Sam, my daughter, watch my videos. I know it must pain her because she'd much rather that I was doing crochet or knitting instead of falling off my bike. But thanks for watching guys, and also thanks to Ryan's mum and Ryan's mum's friends and anyone else over there in Australia that's watching. So cheers, really appreciate it. And lastly, thank you to everyone who watches my videos, and especially those that comment regularly. So my friends that comment: Anne Bourne, Alex Vaughan Thomas, Dave North, my uncle John and Auntie Eureka, James Buckland and friends. It's great when you comment. And also Jesus from Spain, he comments quite often. So thanks guys, I really appreciate it. And very special thank you to Mike and Natasha, a couple from New York that I met on the trek to Everest Base Camp. After my accident, they sent me a really lovely gift, and that was a pair of these. These are Ultra Lone Peak trail runners, and they're 0 drop, and also they have lots of space in the toe box for anyone who has a condition like mine, Morton's neuroma. So Mike, you're absolutely right, because I've walked a few miles in them and my Morton's neuroma doesn't play up at all. So thank you so much. I really just want to put them on display on a shelf because they're so lovely and they're so well made. It's a really quality piece of kit. So thank you so much for those. Yes, that was a lovely surprise. So how's my shoulder doing, I hear you ask, or not perhaps? Well, it's 10 weeks in, as I said. 8 to 10 weeks the bones should knit. The main fracture was a proximal humerus fracture, so it's broken up or fractured up here. I think the fractures are the least of my worries. It was painful and it's become more painful now I'm doing physiotherapy. It's actually caused me to go back onto painkillers. I'd been off them for 4 weeks, and unfortunately the physio cream just wasn't dulling the pain enough, and I'm back on painkillers, which I really don't like. I don't like the chemicals in them and they depress me, but I can handle that. I know what's making me feel down when I'm taking them, so it's manageable. After 5 weeks I eventually got to the hospital in the UK, and the nurse strapped my arm right up here, and that's where I left it for 3 weeks because she told me off for taking my sling off and for trying to move my arm. And then I saw a shoulder specialist who said to me, "What the hell is your arm doing up there? You should have been moving it a couple of weeks ago." And he booked me some physio sessions, but as soon as I got home from him, I got on YouTube and found some physio for a proximal humerus fracture, and unfortunately I went at it too crazy and I caused myself a lot of pain. And the physio said, you know, it's just 5 minutes 3 times a day, it's not all day long for 3 days. So I've had to knock that back, but as I say, it's a lot of pain. There must be soft tissue damage as well as the shoulder being frozen. and I've found some fabulous really good YouTube channel for flossing nerves, because when you get pain, for example, all the way down my arm from shoulder to wrist, I know it's nerve pain. And there's a channel called Brian Abelson on YouTube, and he does all sorts of nerve flossing. If you've never done it before, it's basically movements, a bit like Tai Chi, and it's instant. If it's going to work, it works instantly, so it's fantastic. So it's Brian Abelson, worth a look at. I always try and self-help before I go to a doctor with any ailment or injury, except obviously a broken arm I can't heal. But I usually get straight onto YouTube, and I wish I'd done it sooner, to be honest. But that's where I'm at with that. The physio says it could take up to a year to get full movement. So that's an awful long while, but I'm just going to have to be patient. I can move it a lot more than I could, like that. So I do have some movement, but I can't put much weight on it or jerk it about or move it sharply. It's just freeing up the muscles now and just being patient. So I've been back in the UK 8 weeks. I haven't done much at all. What have I been doing? I'm learning a new piece of software, and I went for a job interview last week, and fingers crossed I'll get it, because it's here in Banbury and I don't have a car, so for the first time ever I'll get myself a bus pass. The bus stops very close to this house, and then there's only a short, perhaps 1 kilometre walk at the end of the bus ride to get to this place I went for an interview. So fingers crossed I get that. Apart from that, I haven't been doing much except comfort eating sweets and chocolate, and I'm getting a really lardy arse. So I've got to knock that on the head. I've not been able to exercise, although I try and do a little bit of yoga. It doesn't really work without being able to move my arm properly. But yeah, I need to start exercising as soon as I can. And that's about all I've been doing, really. So not very exciting, hence no videos. With my YouTube videos, I know they're not very fancy or particularly well edited. I've only got a cheap piece of editing software. I've got a GoPro Hero 5 that I record it all on, and it keeps turning itself off, which is a real pain. And then I've got a little notebook laptop thing that I edit it on. So I've nothing fancy like gimbals, drones, microphones, etc. Perhaps one day I'll get them when I can afford them. I don't earn money from my YouTube. You need at least 1,000 subscribers to start earning money from it, and then you need tens of thousands hours of viewing. So I've got a long way to go yet before I can earn any money. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to try and improve. The new software I'm learning is called Blender. It's a 3D graphics package. I've done 3D before in design, so I can use CATIA, which has helped me understand the modelling in Blender, and hopefully I'll be able to improve my edits and do myself some graphics, so a logo and an intro to my films better than I have done already. So I will try and improve. As for content, and content really is what's going to get you the viewers and the subscribers, I'm not doing things so as I can put them on YouTube. I'm putting on YouTube what I do, and what I'm doing is enjoying myself. They're not achievements as far as I'm concerned. They're things I want to do, and things that please me and things that make me content. And therefore I'm never going to be a YouTube sensation just doing the things I like doing. and I don't see that changing really, but you know, I'm 57 3/4. I really can't do crazy things because these injuries take too long to heal. But what I will do is a review of the route, the Altravesur route, and a review of my gear. There's already a blog of my gear review, so if you head over to nosecondseason.com if you're interested in that. I know most people aren't interested in the reviews because they're not planning to do a bike packing tour themselves, but anyway, if you feel like watching it, I'd really love it if you did, but mainly it's for people who want to do the Altravesur, so they should be coming in the next few weeks anyway. Just as a little review of my Altravesur ride, obviously it must be clear that I enjoyed it so much, and reviewing it, to be honest, I wouldn't change much. There's a few things I'd change. Obviously I wouldn't fall off so much. I'd navigate better. I'd probably buy a navigation device, but moreover I would look at it more, because I wasn't looking at it why I was missing my turn-ins. So that's one thing I need to improve on. I would also buy a satellite SOS beacon, such as a Garmin InReach. They cost quite a lot of money, and I nearly bought one for this last trip, but I thought, no, it's so expensive, I won't need it. But as it turns out, it may have really come in handy, so I'll be getting one of those as first priority. Apart from that, I'll be keeping the same bike. I'm going to investigate quick release pedals for it, because when you're pushing it up a steep incline, it's so much harder because the pedals keep bashing your shins. So quick release pedals for the bike. I need to buy a new bracket for my front roll packer because I broke it, and also I'm not sure I'd use the gorilla cages. They obviously caused my accident, but it was totally my fault, and they have actually sent me a replacement unit, so I've got a new one, but psychologically I'm not sure yet. But if and when, not if, when I go bikepacking again, I'll probably use virtually all the same kit. I may swap a few of the cheaper items out with some different ones, but basically it will be the same. I think I'd ride the same. I'd ride slowly, I'd meander, I'd chill at camp. Bikepacking's usually done very fast, you know, it's how fast can you do the 1,000 miles, not hey, let's enjoy this every moment and all the scenery and the towns and pueblos. It's usually a rush, but I'm not gonna, that's not for me. I won't be changing, so I'd still do it slowly. A couple of things I'd probably change would be to be a bit calmer when a decision needed making. I would probably think a little bit more about what I should do and the best way to achieve it. And also I'd worry less about where I was going to sleep. I tended to worry about 6 o'clock in the evening where I was going to sleep, when it didn't get dark till 10, so I don't know why I was worrying at all. So I'd probably chill out a bit more. But apart from that, I think I'll be doing it exactly the same, but without the falling off. So that's a bit of a review of my Altravesur for you, and I think that's enough said really. The equipment and route reviews will be more in depth for people that want to do it themselves. And bearing in mind that was my very first bikepacking tour, I'd not even done an overnighter before, I was really pleased with how it went, except for the ending of course, but it was just the best thing ever. So if you're on the fence about whether you should try it, I'd just say do it, because it was the best thing ever. So that's what I've been doing and where I've been for the last few weeks, and I'll wrap this episode up now, so thank you very much for watching. Please press the like button if you liked it, and if you haven't subscribed, it'd be fantastic if you did, please, please, please. And I'll put another couple of videos out soon as reviews, and until then, bye for now.